Hey, we're back in Karana Forest. I just realized, isn't Karana the name of the archer? Later, when we do learn her name. Oh my gosh, I have a double jump, guys. It's fine. Welcome back to Fark the Electric Jester. Oh yeah, not only do I have a double jump, but it kind of like propels me forward a little bit when I use it, so that's nice. Okay. Been a couple days, so I need to get used to Fark again, but I have the like 1, 2, 3, and then I have a bigger attack. Yeah. Yeah, so I need to get used to all of that again, but that's alright. How you guys been doing? It's almost Thanksgiving here where I am. I think I've gone on record that I'm a pretty big Thanksgiving enjoyer, despite the historical controversies that created the holiday. I think it's always a good idea to show thankfulness, and it's nice to have a day devoted to that. Also, great to see family, and also I really love Thanksgiving food. Yeah, how do y'all feel about Thanksgiving food? Turkey's not, like, far from my favorite meat. You know, it's kind of lacking in flavor on its own, but that's a different kind of enemy, I think, than we've seen before. Interesting. But it's just, like, because turkey can be, like, naturally kind of bland, or at least the white meat can, it makes it a good, like, basis for a lot of the other flavors that come with it. I'm not a big gravy guy. I like I was like a picky eater growing up. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. And it took a while to get used to like condiments on anything, and I still don't really like condiments on things. Like, it's not my preference. So rather than putting like gravy on my turkey and mashed potatoes, I'd rather just like salt and like let those more bland flavors mix with like the stuffing and the cranberry sauce and stuff. That's my approach. But like if there's gravy on it, that doesn't completely ruin the taste for me either. Wawa, which is the gas station chain here in my section of the US, does the gobbler, and it's basically, and it's somewhat customizable, but it's essentially a Thanksgiving meal in a hoagie. Which, you know, it having bread with it is like maybe a little bit too much carb. I mean, it's certainly not healthy, but like, you know, the bread's not really adding much, except that it's like creating a nice vehicle to eat it so that you could like take one bite and get potatoes and stuffing and turkey and gravy and cranberry sauce all in one bite. Like, that's the dream. Well, what show was it? I think it was Psych, where yeah, where Sean made, like, or Gus made, like, single bite, like, Thanksgiving poppers, and it just completely didn't make sense, and I think Binging with Babish did an episode where he attempted to make them. So it, like, wasn't just, like, all those things I just described in the Gobbler, but it was also, like pumpkin pie, and, like, I think, like, green bean casserole, and, like, definitely flying too close to the sun, but it's for, you know, a bit on a TV show. It's supposed to be silly. I haven't watched Binging with Babish in a while. He is very good. He, like, his, like, basics with Babish and things where he, like, shows you how to cook, or even, like, the less basic ones, he is, like, a really good teacher of it. I think he kind of just got through a lot of the major, like, foods from TV shows that he knows, and now he's got, other people on the show who take over more of the, like, there's like anime with Alvin, and there's like one that's like devoted to gaming. Babish, I feel like, doesn't as often do like here's a meal associated with the show, but sometimes there's things that like you'd expect to be really good, like, I don't know, like whatever they're eating in like a Ghibli movie at any given time. Okay. Okay, so I kind of got a safe spot here. Okay, I wasn't watching the gun enough, though. Okay, but I have a decent amount of static, so I can heal myself when I need to. Yeah, that's gonna fire on the ground. I got a funny angle here. Okay, don't get shot by that thing. Easy. Only thing is, I was a little bummed because I wanted to cook something, and the family doesn't need me to cook anything. And I was like, I'll make a dessert, but they have so many desserts already, and I was really excited about this one thing I was gonna make, but they're like, no, we have too many desserts. So I'm just gonna make that dessert anyway, and share it with some friends or something. I know it's like, well, what could be bad with having, like, too many dessert options there? Like, not everything will be eaten. You could just, like, take some of it home, but in this case, I get the feeling that they really don't want me to bring anything. I know it's not personal. It's not like they don't think I'm a good cook. Just they want to provide. They're the older family members. Yeah, there's already going to be, like pumpkin pie and multiple other pies. Okay, so Karana, I just saw your name in the title, and I, like, already kind of forget what it is. I wasn't expecting the arc there, but I narrowly avoided it. Okay, so I almost got my super. Bosses are really spongy in this mode, though. Okay. So there's my super. And then I got hit, so I lost it briefly, but I'll get it back. Yeah, I gotta remember that enemies don't have hitboxes on their own, so I can dash through enemies a lot of the time. Alright, that'll do it. Yeah, because I like making cannolis a lot, and I decided I want to experiment with pumpkin-flavored cannolis. Because I've done pistachio-flavored cannolis before. And the thing especially with cannolis is, like, you can make the filling, and it's good for a while, but you don't want to pipe them into the shells until they're about ready to serve, because over a few hours, the shells will start to get soggy with the filling inside them. The condensation will break down the shells, and that's not what you want. So, like, you don't really want to put them out, and then, like, if they don't all get eaten, you just pack them away, because then they're not as good. And I don't want to, like, take the piping bag with all the filling over there and, like, fill the shells there at Allie's Graham's house. So, I'll make the filling and serve it at some other point. I wish I could make the shells myself. I'd love to learn more about baking, because I'm really not a baker. We don't have a lot of the equipment for baking. Like, we don't have a stand mixer. Whenever I have to mix something, I do it by hand, which I don't mind most of the time, but, like, we don't have a food processor. And I'd be interested in getting some of these things, but we don't have... The way our apartment is, we don't have an incredibly big kitchen space, so... Okay, fine, I'll go down. Baking is very mysterious to me right now. It's a very mysterious process. I do not know anything about it, but I'd love to learn. You know, start with breads and chocolate chip cookies and work my way up. because I'd love to be able to. I make the filling by hand for cannolis, which isn't that complicated. It's basically just different mixtures of confectioner's sugar and ricotta cheese and vanilla. In this case, also pumpkin puree. But the shells, I'd love to try making the shells myself. Now I just kind of buy the shells from a bakery. And they're good, don't get me wrong, but I want to make it myself. I own a pasta maker, and I've never gone it out because I just, like, don't have the room to do stuff with dough. And there's so many other things I need to do first to get the dough that you run through the pasta maker, and I don't have those things because I don't have room for those things. But I love pasta, and I want to make it from scratch. Alright, who was I gonna fight? Is this where I fight the lumberjack thing? Yes, alright. So this isn't who I usually met here, though. This is something else. Oh, no, yeah. Okay, I remember Chainsaw Arm killing this guy. Well, at least I don't have to worry about Spark, like, losing his abilities and getting double Archer and having to figure out the boss with just Archer. Which, all things considered, was not the worst power-up to fight this guy with, but... Okay, where are you? I remember this guy's attack patterns being very important to remembering how he works. Oh, jeez. Okay. Yeah, he does the spikes from the ground bit. Yeah, let's activate that, and then we'll just kind of keep slashing at him here until we run out of super. Problem is he can hide back there, and that wastes my invincibility time. Oh, and then I forget to look out for the spikes. Oh, right, but I can parry. Yes, and that's the way that I build up my static faster. So actually, this is going to be really easy because I'm just going to parry all of his really obvious moves. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't thinking like Fark. I was thinking like Spark. That I don't think I'd be able to parry very effectively, so I'll wait for him to come back here. Oop. I like how there's, like, a bit of a margin of error for parrying also, and it seems like there's more reward for getting it closer in that window. Oh. Okay, like that time I did it late, so it showed me the red to be like, hey, be careful, but it still didn't take my damage. And if you can get it, like, within a few frames, you get the blue, which I'm guessing is giving you more static. Okay. Don't you have another phase you do here, though? No, it was the second phase that cut off that, so it kind of just skipped to phase 2. You, a mere pile of useless metals. You are meant to die, just like me. Okay, and we get the butt rock back. Awesome. Thank you for healing me again. Oh, we got another scythe wielder, guys. Okay. The teleporting's annoying. If I'm, like, right on top of him, too, the blade doesn't actually hit me. But I'm still parrying just to be safe, because I don't have great control of where that blade arc is right now. Okay, let's heal. So far, Fark mode has not actually been as hard as I thought. It was just that first boss fight when I was trying to get the hang of Fark that got me. But now that I'm used to parrying and I see how forgiving it actually is, it's really not that bad. Cool, okay. Yeah, I'm like a whole recording episode ahead of how fast I was going when I did this with Spark. Yeah, we're getting a lot more like goopy and like beastly enemies. There was one robot in Spark's campaign I remember that looked more like bestial. Now I'm curious, did this game release with Fark's story, or is that added later? Because, you know, in this day of digital gaming, a lot of things are saved for DLC. Yeah, I can also run up walls lest we forget. I say that as if you guys were forgetting. Was I wall running up the enemy there? I guess he counts as a wall. Okay, my control stick wasn't working for a second there. I think maybe because I was holding it down when I spawned in, it like didn't register the press to start moving. Cool. Same thing happened there, yeah. So if I guess if an enemy is impassable, it can be wall run. Yeah, maybe I should be trying to collect all these little things so that I can resurrect when I die. I'm so glad this game doesn't have limited lives. I think I talked about UFO 50 the last time I was recording, and how, like, man, it was going to be impossible for me to beat all those games. A funny thing started happening. I started clearing some of the games with gold, not with, like, the perfect cherry, but, like, gold is pretty good for me. I got, I have 5 of them cleared now, and I think I've only even opened, like, 16 of them. So I don't know, maybe I can eventually gold rank all of them. Yeah, I gold ranked, the first one I did was Avianos, which is more of a tactics game, so that, you know, that tracks for me, that I'd be really interested in the tactics game. Then Bushido Ball I cleared. That one's really fun. It's like... It's volleyball, but it, like, operates like a fighting game. Each of the characters have, like, very specific side abilities. It's samurais playing volleyball. And each of them has, like, a different sub-weapon. So one of them has, like, shuriken that he can throw, and, you know, the shuriken can either stun the enemy or manipulate the ball. Another character has a rope dart on a chain that they throw out so they can play very defensively and bring the ball to them if it looks like they're going to miss it. Another character has bombs, which was, like, messing me up. My favorite is the one who can drop caltrops. You can drop caltrops on their opponent's side of the field. And not only can it stun the opponent if they step on them, but you can bounce the volleyball off them. So a lot of my wins were due to that, for me, you know, doing bounces that the computer player didn't predict. Which other ones have I beaten? I beat a Tactics, which is like it's like a very fast-paced tactics game where you need to, like, be making your moves really quickly. And it's kind of like the way everything operates is very simple, but there's a lot of it happening at once, and you have to choose things quickly. Very, very interesting. It's like, yeah, it's like a bunch of, like, cool arcade NES games if they were all really well designed. And there are some I haven't, like, really gotten the hang of yet. Like, the first one in the collection is called Barbuda, and it's a kind of, like, very punishing side-scroller adventure game. And in that one, you do have limited lives. That's what made me think of it, was mentioning limited lives. Alright, wall run. Wall run. Wall run up the secret area. Okay, am I getting actually close to filling up that top yellow bar? It really takes a lot of these. I think I only actually had enough and did the resurrect once in my entire first playthrough. Okay, can't go up there though. That's fine. That's fine, I got some static for exploring. What are the other ones that I've already cleared? I did, Planet Zoldath, which isn't very fun, I gotta be honest, but, you know, I figured out what I would have to do to beat it, so I just went for it. And I ended up figuring it out and being like, okay, this isn't that hard now that I know what I'm doing, I just have to be kind of careful and patient. That one's kind of like, not like Legend of Zelda, but more like it's like complicated contemporaries that are also like top-down adventures. Okay, what was the deal with you? Okay, the deal with you is you die. And then the other one I did was a very arcadey one called a Secret Garden, which is also very, very quick play and addicting, and it's got kind of a, like, Bubble Bobble Pac-Man kind of feel where you're running around collecting pink blobs and avoiding blue blobs, and yeah, to beat that one, you just kind of have to accrue a certain score. Really trying to beat Kick Club now, which is another kind of arcadey. The graphics look a little bit like a River City Ransom, but it's more of a... Well, that one's really more like Bubble Bobble. I don't know why I said Secret Garden was like Bubble Bobble. It's really not at all. No, definitely Pac-Man is the better allegory for Secret Garden. Mayor Base. Yeah, what is blowing up on me? What is actually... Are they mines? Am I walking over mines? Actually, yeah, I bet that's what it is. Yeah, everything is just destroying me here. When I take damage, I also lose static. Oh, Penny's come to visit me. Hey, baby. Dang it. See, when I'm low on health and I'm nervous and I'm trying to be careful, I get really twitchy, and then I make weird mistakes like that. And like that, too. I walked forward too far. Yeah, Penny, I died. It's okay. It's okay, Penny. When we die, we try again. Okay, guys, let me take a quick break. This dog needs attention. She needs pets. Yeah, you need pets. I understand. It had to be done. The dog had to be pet. And I need to stay alive here, so... Yeah, that time I'm gonna wait for the flame towers. We're gonna be a lot more careful now. Yeah, can't I stick to the ceilings also if I... There we go. It's weird though because then your left and right get switched. I'm not sure if I like that. I mean, I could try to just keep killing enemies, or at least hitting enemies to build up my static so that I can heal myself. But okay, I'm at full health now at least. And that's a save point, so that's permanent progress. That's awesome. I am so far ahead of recording on this one. What I'm really behind on right now is editing, because I'm working on the Tears of Joy, which will surely be out by the time this episode comes out. Yeah, where are we getting up to here? I'm really glad this game doesn't have, like, hidden Chaos Emerald stuff, because I don't want to hunt it down. But the game would probably benefit from having it. Oh. Okay, cool. Got my health back. Because there's... With all the different paths and stuff, there's probably a lot of smart little hiding places you could do. When they do that with health pickups and things, and certain power-ups. They had a little Donkey Kong Country, like, barrel maze there. You know what was really cool? In Donkey Kong Bonanza, there were a few parts where it would straight up emulate an old Donkey Kong Country style of stage. And they did, you know, the original Jungle Japes, and they did Sticker Brush, Bramble Blast playing Sticker Brush Symphony, because of course they did. That's like the most popular one. And then they did a Minecart Madness one. And I would have loved to see more of that. I guess that would have meant more assets and more songs that were only being used like once in the game. But man, Donkey Kong Country has so many great like biomes across the first 3 games. Ooh, creepy. Creepy, where's the music? Did this always not have music at this part? Oh, there it is. There it is fading in. Like, you could do something with aquatic ambience. Maybe they didn't want to, like, get into the pirate stuff until towards the end for reasons, but, like, I could have seen a, like, Gangplank Galleon, like, first level of Donkey Kong Country 2 style stage, which a lot of people think is the same track as plays when you fight Cave Rule in Donkey Kong Country. They're purposefully similar, but they're not the same melody. They are different songs. That's cave rule is and the Donkey Kong Country 2 level is oh, or you could have done like the masts. You could have done one that was like up in the rigging, one of those kinds of levels. That would be Robin, if you're watching this, that would be a good idea if you were ever on Tears of Joy, because I know you're also a big Donkey Kong Country fan, is just all the level themes across the first 3 Donkey Kong Country games. You got, in the first one, you got, like, jungle, cave, mine cart, tundra, ruins, the more deciduous forest, Fear Factory, of course, or Frantic Factory. Fear Factory is Donkey Kong 64. Then, and Underwater, if I didn't say that one already. Then Donkey Kong Country 2, you have the ship, you have the rigging of the ship, you have the swamp levels, you have the ghostly forest levels, you have the mansion levels, you have the theme park roller coaster levels, the bramble levels, of course. There's the beehive, the like underwater like shipwreck levels. There's the ice levels. Oh, in Donkey Kong Country 1, there's a, like, crystal cave level theme that it only uses for 1. Then there's also, like, a jungle theme in DKC 2 for, like, the hidden... for the Lost World. Donkey Kong Country 3 gets, like, kind of out there. So it also has, like, snowy levels, but it's more like a ski lodge kind of place. I think it has its own variation on the jungles. The first one is like a lake, like a freshwater lake. Has its own like take on like factory and like sewer pipe levels. The water levels are much more like coral filled. There's some mountain levels and some valley levels, and there's a different kind of, like, deciduous forest level theme. Oh, I always like in Donkey Kong Country 2, there's the lava and there's the mines. The like, gem mines that are usually, like, vertical. Okay, I'm trying to be careful now. Good, okay, back up to full health, and oh, I think I have full meter on the little shinies. I think these were the anti-gravity things in Spark's campaign, and they're, like, turned off for Fark, because he really doesn't need them. I think that's a good change for Fark's campaign. Anything up here? Okay, more health, but not that I need it. Yeah, I mean, like... Penny, did you find your squeaky bone? That's gonna be a bit of a problem for me, honey. Alright, so the lava here. Now we gotta be very careful. Especially... It gets a little confusing because the floor and the ceiling bubble, even in places where the fireballs aren't going to drop, so it's hard to keep track of where they're going to be. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you, healing items. Thank you, Fark's ability to casually walk up walls. Donkey Kong Country Returns also has fun level themes and Tropical Freeze has really fun ones, but at that point it gets like so varied from level to level that it's not as like worth tracking. Like each level kind of is like a unique thing. Donkey Kong Country Returns does, I think, 8 really well realized worlds that are like based on kind of, you know, essential video game biomes, especially in Donkey Kong Country history. It's like jungle, cave, beach, ruins, forest, factory, mountain, lava. But like, those are all great themes for Donkey Kong Country level, so I didn't really mind them being like standard things. But then the islands you get in Tropical Freeze, like the first island is like has like a lot of like crashed like explorer planes on it, and there's a bunch of fun stuff with that. Then there's the one that's like very like Scandinavian feeling, and then there's the one that's very like West Africa feeling. Like it's got the one, like I like to call it the Julie Taymor Lion King level with the like puppet parade. There's the one that's just like a juice factory, like each level is going further into this factory where it's like, first it's harvesting fruit, then it's like smashing fruit, then it's processing them. Then you get to the end and it's like this snow cone that the boss is eating. And there's one that's like mostly underwater, and that one's, you know, kind of a bummer because underwater, but... Uh-oh, I'm about to be in trouble here. Ah, good. Okay, it gives you a lot of warning with the fire shield disappearing. Okay, I don't want to touch that lava on the wall now, because I don't have my fire bubble. I'm at the point now where I've wall run upwards for so long, I'm not sure if I'm actually in the right place, but it keeps repeating, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Okay. Okay, I think I figured out how to safely do this. Because with things like this, you always had to ask yourself, like, okay, do I need to, like, hit the cling button again after I jump, or do I just hold it down? And you find yourself accidentally, like, jumping an extra time, or swinging at nothing, or letting go of it at the wrong time. Okay. I need some help. Ah! I did the thing where I tried to inch forward. Alright, so my resurrection ability came in handy there. That's good. That's great, because I did not want to do all that again. Alright, about to lose the fire shield. I wouldn't mind having, like, a meter for that like, goes down so you can kind of gauge exactly how long you have. Do I want to be going up here? No, I think I kind of took the long way, but alright. Refill. This level feels very big. Big, open spaces. Big, wide, open spaces. Oh, and then Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze does the coolest thing, where the last world is back on DK Island, but after the Snowmads, you know, took it over. So it's, you know, winterized. Donkey Kong Country Returns didn't really have snow levels, so the last world has eight levels, one for each of the worlds from Donkey Kong Country Returns, and they're all, like, winterified. So it's really cool to see these returning locations come from, and you go through the caves and you can see the one annoying bat enemy from Donkey Kong Country Returns, frozen solid in the cave, which is awesome. Yeah, those were good games. I wouldn't mind if Rareware did another one of those, but... I mean, not Rareware, Retro Studios. I wouldn't mind if Rareware did another Donkey Kong Country game also. But I'm happy with Bonanza. Okay, so... yeah, I think now's a pretty good time to call it, though, even though I just sort of ran ahead because I'm excited. Let's call it there. Until next time, I'm the Comic Foil. The backgrounds here are so pretty. I love those big hills back there. We got an entire zone of green hills. See you later.